We have a very special guest today on Primetime Local News. Michelle Sagan is here to talk about the upcoming release of her book. Michelle, thank you for joining us today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
So, being in Lloydminster and experiencing everything you've gone through, which we'll get into here shortly, it's been very difficult, but you have decided to put this all into a book called Larger Than Life. So, can you tell me just a little bit about the journey to what made you decide you wanted to write this book, Michelle?
I lost my son Devin in 2013, and my life was completely shattered in that moment. And it's really important for me to keep his memory alive. And I have gone through something that I can't even, it's hard to even put to words. Like, even though I've written about it, it's hard to really realize the depth of those emotions if you haven't lost a child. And so in this book, Larger Than Life, Devin lived his life larger than life. Devin, he just enjoyed life, and he, was so mature for his age. And the one thing in writing this book that I've really learned is that he has been so much a part of my life, even in his passing. And so, for myself, me and Devin are going to change the world. And I actually talk about that in my book. He's a big part of that. He's a big part of that. And so I'm very, very proud to have written this book. And it is even more special than I could have ever dreamed of.
Can you tell me about what the book is about in general? Is it, include Devin's life and some of the ways he's touched yourself and others? Or I guess what is the central focus of the book, Michelle?
Within the book, I spend a lot of time going through the helplessness I felt in his sudden illness. I talk a lot about my journey after his passing, but at the same time, I also talk a lot about him, and I tell stories about him and how, those stories were very torturous for me after his passing. And over time and through my healing, and have feeling like I have him, like I honestly feel like he's right by my side all the time. And it has allowed me to really take that next step in my growth and be willing to put all of this to paper. And it's so important for everybody to know who my son was. He was such an amazing man. So it kind of encompasses all of it.
And did you have any help, Michelle, or is this something where you just sat down and said, "I'm just doing this on my own, and we'll see where it goes"?
The writing was absolutely me. I sat down and, first of all, there's little tricks of the trade when you're writing a book that I didn't necessarily know. And I started taking a few writing classes here and there. And then I also had taken some university classes where I did writing as well. So I started one step at a time, and I never really allowed myself to think beyond the step that I was on. It's such a daunting process to write a book. That's the one thing I've come to realize. And I just really approached it one step at a time. And that has allowed me, like I said, to be able to have an end result that far exceeded my expectations. Like, I'm so proud of this.
How long did it take you to put this together, Michelle? When we were chatting earlier, you said you started and then had to take a break. So, how long was the process once you got started until where it is today?
I actually started writing pieces of it in 2020 during COVID. And then June of 2021, right before his birthday, I spent some time writing about his last day. And for me, I was just done. I closed my computer and closed my book files, and I never looked at them again for 18 months. I was a quarter of the way through my book at that point. And when I got to the end of 2022 and I was continuing, like, I've spent a lot of time on my own healing journey. And I really felt like the book was like right there. It was on the surface. It was ready to come to life. And I sat down in January and started writing, and I had the rest of it written by the end of February. So it was interesting to write a quarter of a book in basically, a year, and then write 3/4 of the book in 2 months. So
Well, Michelle, the book is coming out June 28th. I'm sure that Devin would be so proud of what you've done, and lots of people in Lloydminster know you and your family, and I know they're going to be anxious to read this. So once the book is out on the 28th, Michelle, how do people get their copy?
they can order the copy off of Amazon to start with. I'm releasing it on Amazon through ebook, paperback, and a hardcover copy on June 28th. And then afterwards, I will be doing some book signing events in the area. And if you order off of Amazon, feel free. If most people in Lloydminster know that my husband and I also own Me Tire and Auto, feel free to swing by and I'll sign it for you if you want a signed copy.
Well, thank you so much for chatting with me, Michelle. What an amazing thing this is that you've done, such an accomplishment. And I look forward to reading it as well when it comes out. So once again, June 28th, Larger Than Life, Michelle Sagan has written this book. Congratulations. And I wish you all the success with this. So important for you to get this story out. And I know it's going to be an amazing read.
Thank you. Thank you so much.